Hello peeps, my name is CMR1990, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I don't know if I'm going to continue to make videos like this, I might, but just for this one, I guess, it will be enough for now. As you can see from the title, this really isn't a gameplay video. I'm sure there will be something on the video to entertain your eyes while you listen to my voice. It could either be gameplay, my desktop, or a still image. I don't know. I'll figure that out when I edit the video. I've been in a slump recently, if you can tell. I've recorded some content, but I really didn't like how it turned out, so I scrapped it. And even the content I did make, it was kind of a grind to do it. I have plenty of content still to go out. I just have to edit videos, and I just haven't really felt like editing videos, and maybe during this video you'll figure out why I haven't and can understand. So this video, as you can see from the title, we're going to talk about death, but not really death in a sense that you're probably thinking about it. I don't know where this is going to go. I'm just going to ramble a little bit. So I titled this video something. I'm going to title this video something along the lines of I talk about death, or we talk about death, or something. And I just really went in with just that premise. I really didn't think of anything in particular specific to talk about besides one or two things. But one thing I want to get right up here is a quote that I read today, and that's really been important to me recently with a lot of things that have been going on. I've been making a lot of changes in my life. A lot of things have happened. Some of them are kind of personal between people, so I'm not going to bring them up here. I don't mind talking about them, but the parties in particular probably would. So it's difficult. It's been difficult. I'm not going to lie and say it hasn't, and it's been terrible, to be honest and frank about it. But other than that, I just didn't find any solace in making videos or recording videos to help cope with that. I found more solace just sitting around doing absolutely nothing, which is a lot different than how I used to handle these kind of things. So I found this quote yesterday. This quote, I might put it on the screen. I don't know if I will or not, but I'll just read it out here. This quote reads, "If you want to do something and you want to accomplish something, I will tell you the secret of getting passion to finish it. Tell yourself every day, tomorrow I can be dead. The strongest motivator in life is facing death and knowing you will die and have no clue when it will happen." This sounds like a very morbid quote and a very bad quote to find motivation in, but I find a lot of motivation in this. Because I'm unsure with a lot of things in my life right now. I'm unsure of a lot of what I want to do with my life. YouTube is not something that's going to sustain me. So that's out. Even though I'd love to do YouTube, it would just not work. I have to think realistically rather than just being hopeful about things. And I just don't know what I want to do. Job searches, even meaningless and menial task work, is impossible. I'm just going to go into a little bit of depth here before I go back to this quote. I have, in my local area, filled out, I'm not kidding, I've kept count, and I stopped counting at over 200 applications in the past 2 years. And every single one of them has either been a rejection or no response at all from the companies or the places I've applied to, as well as the fact that the few times I went in, it's just gotten interviews, it's went nowhere. And even one recently I was really hopeful about, and I knew better than to get hopeful, because when I get hopeful about things go wrong. I got hopeful and still have heard nothing back, and I don't think anything's going to happen there either. I mean, it's so discouraging, and it gets me to the point where I don't bother filling out applications. I don't bother even attempting to find such kind of work because I know it's going to lead nowhere. Nobody wants a almost 30-year-old guy doing work that they're hiring teenagers for. And you need that kind of work experience to even consider working in a more age-appropriate area. But I'm rambling and going off topic. I might make a video separate about that in particular. But back to the quote. The quote is, like I said, with all that's going on, the big motivator I've had is this quote for a few days now, and it's really helped me kick my rear end into gear. I've started to take footsteps in the right direction in a few things. The work thing, like I said, I'll do a separate video about that and go into more detail, but that's not going to pan out. I know that's not going to pan out. There's too many problems I have that a working environment, it's going to be a complete failure no matter what line of work I go into. And I'm aware of this, and I know this. And I hate it, but, I mean, I can hate it all I want, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change how my brain, how I function, so that quote's been very helpful. It's led me to make changes, to do things that get things in order, so I will have a more secure future, because I don't know when I'll die. I can make this video and tomorrow I'll be dead. It could happen. And what do I leave behind if that happens? Well, I leave behind over 300, I think. 200, 300, I don't remember. Videos of me and my friends doing stupid shit. I leave behind my writings, which we'll get to that here in a second. My phone's going off. Okay, I'll do that later. I got to do something, but I'll finish this video really quickly before I do. So, a lot of motivation there. And, like, that phone dinging completely distracted me from what I was talking about. Oh, I don't remember. Oh yeah, what did I leave behind? Well, I leave behind 200, 300 videos or so. And by the way, these videos aren't going to be edited. I just can't be bothered to do any editing on this kind of video, besides something in the background. So, if you don't like my rambling, I do apologize. It's the only way I can actually talk, it seems. So, that's what I leave behind. I leave behind artwork and things I've wrote, but again, I don't leave behind a lot after I'm gone. So, and that's a big fear I have in life, is that I could be one day gone and not have anything to show for it, and that's a big problem for me. I don't fear the afterlife. I honestly don't believe in an afterlife. That's just me. But I don't fear anything in the afterlife because I know, at least for myself, I'm not going to harsh on anybody else's beliefs, that there is no afterlife, and that once I'm dead, I'm dead. There's no existence anymore after that. But since I do have to go do something, as my phone has directed me to do so, and reminded me, if my phone didn't ding, I would have forgot about it. As that phone's reminding me of something, I just want to read off something here that you can actually go, it'll be linked in the description if you actually want to look at the post, but it's actually on my DeviantArt page, and you can go take a look at it. My phone is continuing to ding. Shut up, phone. I don't care right now. So, oh my god. Stupid phone, I swear. Alright, well, right now I'm going to read something that I wrote a very long time ago, and I've actually rewritten, but it's still a long time ago. I think 2015 is when I rewrote this. But the original writing was in 2003, so long time, and it hadn't been rewritten. But I'm just going to end out this video reading this and just a little bit after it, and then explain a little bit of things. So I'm going to read this. It's actually a poem that I wrote. It's on, like I said, on my DeviantArt. I'll link it in the description if you want to go actually read it there, but why would you? You're listening to me read it here. So this is a poem I wrote that title of the poem is Hello, My Name is Distance. Where is it? There it is. Hello, my name is Distance, and I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live in a tidal wave of misery and hell. A life so cold, so black, so broken, no amount of fire, paint, or duct tape can mend it back together. I stand each day waiting for something to end, something or someone to catch me when I'm being down. I have nothing and no one. The daily grind of hate-filled words, faggot, freak, retard, anger-filled fists that pound my face into the ground, toilets, dirt, and even through a window at one point. I hide this all. I hide it from everyone. I hide my scars, my bruises, my hell. I hide it because I know the results. Stand up for yourself. Fight back. They don't understand you can't stand with broken legs. Take a boy with broken legs, crutches out from underneath him. Do you expect him to stand? Oh my god, phone. That phone's pissing me off. They don't understand you can't stand with broken legs. Take that boy with broken legs, crutches out from under his arms. You expect him to stand? When he's beaten to a bloody mess, you expect him to stand? When you take his confused mind and tell him he's an abomination, that God hates him, you expect him to stand? You treat him differently for his whole life, but never tell him why you do. You expect him to stand? You never tell him the truth of his origins or his mental disorder, but you expect him to fucking stand. It's all fine, though. In the split of a second and the shot of a gun, it will be over. And I'll never have to live such a horrid life again. In a flash, it's over. I still remain, though. No body, no figure, just me. Why don't I move on? Why don't I move on? I don't believe in heaven or hell. What's this? Is this what happens to people? Okay, I'm gonna reread that line. In a flash, it's over. I still remain, though. No body, no figure, just me. Why don't I move on? I don't believe in heaven or hell. Is this what happens when you die? You're forced into an existence of watching the world go by without you. I see the results. I see tears, the horror of my family. Immediately with everyone, it's a blame game. Blame video games, blame television, blame my online friendships, blame the internet. Never once was the blame put on what really caused my death. My death was nothing special. No news stories covered it. Just another nameless victim of a flawed and broken household system. As I sit on my cloud watching the world go by without me, I hear a voice. It's distant and faint. I follow it, having a feeling I should. It was halfway across the country. The trip was long, but it didn't matter, seeing as, without a body, you have no use for time. I found the voice and pinpointed its origin. It was an online friend of mine. I never seen his face, never knew his real name, never knew where he lived. This person that had nothing to do with my physical life or being was mourning my death, even harder than some of my family did. He cried out, "God, why? Why did you take him from us?" At that point I hear other cries, at least 100. The same thing, damning God for taking me away. I see my funeral. I see one person there I didn't know among the others. He was grieving by himself. It took me a while, but I realized he was a friend I met online, just a few weeks before I died. He traveled across the country to be at my funeral. I knew he wasn't good financially, so this act actually shocked me. Did I leave such an impact? Such an impact that somebody who can barely afford to take care of themselves would travel across the country to see my funeral. I hear another voice, this one seen from above. Wake up. I felt it was a sign to move on, so I ascended to clouds. Wake up. The voice got louder. Wake up! Until I couldn't stand it anymore. Wake up! I awoke in my bedroom. The dark light filling the white halls, messy floor, and the TV, my daytime TV show that I loved, was on. I went to the bathroom and washed my face, thinking to myself, that was a crazy dream. Or was it a warning? I don't know. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Hello, my name is Distance, and I will change the world someday." Now some explanation about that poem I just read. that I wrote. This poem started out in 2003, after certain traumatic events in my life, which I won't go into here. Maybe there will be separate videos for that kind of story. After those certain traumatic events, I didn't want to live anymore. What would eventually become this poem was my suicide note back then. After I came to my senses and didn't want to end my life anymore, I hid this away, so much so that I actually lost it. I didn't want to remind myself of what happened, so I was kind of happy that I did lose it. It erased everything about it from my memory. I recently read some works from Shane Kozan, and upon finding the old suicide note by chance, years after I've lost it, I felt a little motivated. I'm motivated to turn that dark end-of-life goodbye into a form of literary hope. Never give in, never give up. Rise above it all, it's worth it in the end. You can change the world. That is a quote that I live by. And more shortened version, the word rise means a lot to me too in that quote. Because it's what I've done. Throughout everything, I've always risen, but this really isn't a suicide video. This is more of a death in general video, so I'll save the suicide talk for another video. Just was an interesting kind of video. There's a lot more topics I want to talk about, but as you heard, my phone, or I might cut the phone out, I don't know, my phone was going off throughout trying to record this, and there's stuff I need to go get done. That's why my phone was going off, so unfortunately I can't talk as long as I wanted to. But in general, death is inescapable. It's going to happen to all of us. And I guess my moral, ending each video, if I make more videos like this, is something positive. Something I kind of took from Adam Ruins Everything, ending the video of horrible things with something positive. A positive takeaway, if you will. Positive takeaway of this is everyone dies. Death is inescapable. We will all die at some point. Sooner or later, we will die. And how you choose in your life to accept that is your own choice. For me, I use it as motivation to try to better my life now. I used to fear it a lot, and it used to scare me a lot. And like I said, how you choose to do it, how you choose. I'm fucking flastered now. The positive takeaway from this video will be, well, we all are going to die at some point. Sooner or later, every single person dies. Life always ends. It's what you do in life that matters. And for me, I've not done much of anything. So I'm going to try to change that. I'm going to try to fix that. And there's a lot I want to do, and there's a lot that realistically I have to do. And I'm going to do them both. So, if this video helped you in any way or made you feel anything, please tell me in the comments. If you want to continue the discussion in the comments, I'll continue talking about it with people that comment. Or message me on Discord or Skype. You probably have me on either one of those places. But I might make this into a series. I don't know how often I'm going to do these. They might just be something I do whenever I feel like it. But I think talking about certain topics like this, heavy, serious, or heck, even funny ones occasionally, are a good way of coping with things. I've had to talk about a few things that most people wouldn't talk about with friends and family. Like, I've not talked about some things with family, but I've talked with it to online friends, and it's really helped a lot. So I may make separate videos about that too. I'll make videos about all sorts of stuff, so if you want to see us into a series of talking about serious, lighthearted stuff, just let me know and I'll do them whenever I want. These are relatively easy to do because I'm not going to have heavily edit them. So, anyway, that's it. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, in the comments below, let's continue this discussion about all this stuff, and just remember, life is precious. Do everything you can with life, and I wish you the best in life.